Hey YouTube, robot lawnmowers have completely changed the way I take care of my yard, and today we're going to be looking at Mammotion's Luba 3 all-wheel drive, their most capable mower yet. So let's get into that on Tinker with Tools. Before we get started with the video, Mammotion did go ahead and send this lawnmower over to me, and we have worked together in the past. I still maintain full control of the video, but I just want to make you aware of any relationship that exists with the brand. So thank you, Mammotion, for supporting the channel. Now let's get into the review. Now the mower we're going to be talking about today is the Mammotion Luba 3 all-wheel drive, which is their latest and greatest lawnmower. I previously have owned one of their more compact models, so I'm excited to see what this larger, more capable mower can do in terms of improving the speed of mow and just how much it can mow at a single time. Now, I specifically have the 3000 model. They make a 1500, which is going to be capable of just over 1/3 of an acre. Mine is going to be rated for about 3/4 of an acre. And then they do have a larger model that's going to go all the way up to 1 1/4 acre. Additionally, they come in both S and H variants. The S is going to be for shorter types of grass, ranging from 1 inch up to 2.7 inches. The H variant that I have is going to go from 2.2 inches all the way up to 4 inches, and is going to cover kind of those taller style grasses that are common in my area. This mower packs a lot of different features that I think are worth mentioning. The all-wheel drive system is going to be good if you have more hills or inclines in your yard. It is capable of handling up to an 80% grade, which if you're not aware is going to be a 38.6 degree slope. More importantly, with the all-wheel drive system, I have seen it just as its ability to get over small little obstacles that it has and kind of keep on moving. The way the lawnmower is going to make it around your yard is going to be using its tri-fusion system, what they're calling kind of this trio of different technologies that are going to allow it to move around. Now, it does have 360-degree LiDAR, which is going to use for navigation around your yard. Then it has dual forward-facing cameras. These are going to be used for rapid object detection. It's going to be able to basically see what's in front of it, if there's a ball, a pet, a child, anything like that, and it will adapt how it's mowing to move around those obstacles. Now, lastly, it does have onboard net RTK, which is going to be used for kind of corrections and basically just making sure it's in the right position. When all this combines together, they're touting that it's going to have plus or minus 1 centimeter of accuracy when it comes to where the lawnmower is supposed to be. Honestly, that's pretty comforting knowing that it's going to be able to do all this, and I don't have to install much in terms of what goes in my yard to make it so it's capable of doing that. Now, the last thing is this is going to support multi-zones. For example, in my yard, I have 6 distinct zones that are not connected together via grass. And so being able to program each one of those individually and make sure that I can toggle which ones I want to mow when and how often I want to do those really makes it so I can customize how I'm taking care of the yard and how often I'm going to be mowing it. In addition to that, this mower can operate at night because it is going to be well under what I would consider a nuisance level when it comes to noise. I measured it at 65 decibels when in use, and I will tell you that if you are more than a few feet away from it, you can barely hear it in operation. It does have its own little light system that is capable of getting around your yard regardless if it's day or night, and it's not going to be so bright that I think it's going to be a nuisance to neighbors. Now, as I mentioned last year, I actually already had a Mammotion lawnmower, so I do have some experience in setting them up, but what I'll tell you is compared to last year, the setup experience was significantly smoother and even just easier overall. This year, when I got out the Luba 3, the only 2 assembly steps that are really there is going to be attaching the front bumper and then also attaching kind of the side guardrails that are specific to the model that I have. Once you've gone ahead and done that, the mower is ready to charge, and I was able to get it charged up before ever going out into my yard. Once I got out there though, the setup was also equally simple. The dock needs to be located, and really the biggest thing here is just going to be placing it on flat ground with ample access for the mower to be able to kind of return to its base station and start charging. Once I had those 2 steps done and adopted in the app, it was ready to go out and start mapping the yard. Now, you do have 2 options here for mapping the yard. You can let the machine kind of do its own thing and map the yard itself. The other option is obviously going to be manual mapping. Now, last year when I tried the auto mapping, it was wildly unsuccessful on my yard and really just didn't seem worth the time. I did try it this year, and for the most part, it did seem significantly improved over the other one. I do think that because parts of my grass were a little bit dead because of the severe drought that we're in, it had a difficult time kind of seeing that there was additional grass beyond it. but the area that it did map was accurate for what it was going to do. Now the alternative, like I said, was going to be the manual mapping. This is what I used previously, and this is what I've used for the majority of my yard this year. And once again, it is just dead simple to use. You can easily moderate the speed, kind of work your way around obstacles. And I found that I'm actually able to really quickly just go around and map the entire yard. This process took maybe in total about 30 minutes to do. And then once I was done, I was ready to start mowing the lawn. When we get to the first cut, there's a couple of things I want to point out. I do have a couple of different areas that were a little bit taller. So when I sent out the mower for the first time, there were some times where it basically viewed some longer grass, almost like an obstacle, and wouldn't actually go it. It actually tried to just work its way around it. When I had taken the string trimmer out before the second mow though, it actually did a really good job at following the paths that I had. Now, when you're talking about this mower, it is going to be something where if the grass is a little bit on the longer side, the first cut probably is not going to look the best. You're not going to be expecting perfect results from day one with this style of robot lawnmower. What I will tell you though is the second time you send it out, you definitely see significantly improved results. We're actually going to see the mower starting to get better and better at cutting. And then the more you stay consistent with it, doing it every 1, 2, or even 3 days, depending on your growing season, that's where you really are just going to see your lawn kind of stay at a consistent level and always appear to have a fresh cut. Now, like I mentioned, I use a string trimmer around the edges still because I have found that it just doesn't do the greatest of jobs at kind of making sure that those edges stay freshly clean and cut. But what I have noticed is the more consistent I am at sending the mower out, the more often I can go 2, sometimes even 3 weeks without having to go out there and do the string trimmer. The big benefit of a robot lawnmower is it can be working when I am not, so I can make sure that the grass is going to look good the majority of the time, and the overall stuff that I physically have to do to keep the lawn looking that way is significantly reduced. And now another area where I've seen significant improvement from the previous generation of Mammotion lawnmower that I had to this one is just its ability to kind of take care of itself. This lawnmower seems overall more capable of getting itself out of slightly sticky situations. I had an area of damaged grass where it actually dipped down just a little bit, so that one area did turn into kind of a swampy mess. The first time the Mammotion went down into it, it seemed to get stuck for a second, but then right away it was able to kind of get itself out, and it even avoided it for the rest of that mowing session and waited until the next time around to really try and mow that area when it had dried out a little bit. The other area that I noticed a big improvement is when it returns to its docking station, I have actually had greater success with it being able to dock itself. For whatever reason, the setup I had last year with my Luba 2 Mini, it seemed to be inconsistent in its ability to find the docking station and start charging itself. So far, I've had the Luba 3 all-wheel drive do it about 5 or 6 times, and every single time flawlessly, it has found its way to the dock station, making it once again something that I don't have to worry about and kind of send out on its own. Now, the big question for a lot of people is simply going to come down to the price, and it is an expensive investment up front, but the way I like to look at the cost and whether or not it's going to be worth it for most people is really start to look at the time savings. If this is something you're doing yourself, you're going to be able to save an hour or more and be able to reclaim that time for yourself to dedicate to other things. For me, that means more time that I can spend on this channel or spend with my family and not feel like I'm missing out on either of those opportunities. Now, additionally, because I can go ahead and schedule this and send it out how frequently I want, I can make sure that my grass is always going to look cut. So you're never going to have those moments where it's getting a little bit longer and obvious that it needs attention. You're going to be able to kind of just having it look professional all the time. Now, the other piece of this is if you're paying for professional lawn services, depending on the cost in your area, you might even be able to recoup the cost of this mower in just over a season's time, just simply because you're going to be able to cut that out and have that mower be doing that work. The last place that I really think there's a lot of value in this is if you have someone that you're taking care of their yard, whether it's an aging family member or just someone, a neighbor that you're taking care of as well. This is a way that you can still do a great job at that without having a huge time commitment on yourself and just being able to go check on it every so often and make sure it's working. That's a place where robot lawnmowers, in my opinion, really shine. In addition, they're super quiet. They're going to be autonomous. You're going to be able to send them out without having to keep an eye on them. So you have increased flexibility of when it can mow and how it can mow, and make sure that it's always going to be working with the schedule so that it's not interrupting your time and making sure that it's going to be working for you, not against you. Now, last year when I did my video on the Luba Mini 2, I had some hesitations in really kind of wholeheartedly recommending that product because my initial experience with it did have some rough edges. Made sure to mention those in the video, but I can say that the Luba 3 all-wheel drive has had no hiccups in being able to get it set up, get it running, and seeing it in use. It has worked flawlessly so far, and any of the hiccups that I had with the prior version of it were gone after the initial month that I had been using it, and now they are definitely gone with the Luba 3 all-wheel drive. At the end of the season, I sat back and realized just how little time I had to spend making sure that my lawn always looked good. And that's something that I'm continually excited for this year, is just being able to have a nice looking yard with minimal effort for myself and really having the flexibility to run the mower when I want and just be able to kind of set it and forget it. Those are important things to me. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link down below to the Mammotion website so you can check out all the different mowers they have. They have a variety of different options, so I'll be sure to go ahead and link that. I'll also have links to this specific mower so you can go ahead and check it out. And then coming up in a couple of weeks, I'll actually have a review of a slightly more budget-friendly mower from the same company. So you'll be able to check that out if you're looking for something maybe for a slightly smaller yard. That could be an option for you as well. Now, I do appreciate Mammotion sending over the lawnmower and allowing me to check it out and review it and provide you with that information. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. I'll be sure to try and get them answered for you. If you like this sort of video, go ahead and hit that like button so I know that this is something you're interested in. And then lastly, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Last time I checked, we've only got about 10% of our views coming from subscribers. So if you're watching the channel regularly, go ahead and hit subscribe so you get notified when I put out new content. Now, as always, I want to thank you for the continued support. And until next time, I will catch you on Tinker with Tools.